Hello, my name is Tylluan Penry. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. And today's little chat is about whether we should pay for ritual. Now, this was something that came up on Facebook the other day, and I do feel it's important to think about it. I don't have a pig in my kitchen, by the way. That terrible grunt was, I think it was Mabel. She snores a lot, our little basset hound. So sorry about that. Should we pay for ritual? Well, almost 100% of the time I'd say no, please don't do it. I don't think we should charge for rituals either. I mean, I do know sometimes people charge for spells, and there may be good reasons why they do it. I don't, but that's up to them. But do be careful, because there is a growing tendency to feel that we need other people to do things for us, and we don't. We really, really don't. The idea that someone can do a ritual for one of the festivals of the year, I think is awful. What are they going to do? I mean, what is ritual? What is it really? It's an acknowledgement of a passing of a season, a festival, an event in someone's life. Well, we can mark those things ourselves. I mean, I remember an old Catholic priest once, because I've had conversations with all sorts of people, and he told me that, the priest doesn't marry people. And I was like, wow, you could have fooled me. And he said, no, he said they marry each other. The priest is just there to oversee it, to conduct the ceremony, he said, but we don't marry them. I'm not married, he said. They have married each other. And that thought has always stuck with me. We can do things for ourselves. We can make our own vows. We can create our own festivals, our own rites of passage. You don't need someone to perform something for you. And I do feel very strongly about this as a solitary, because far too many people are getting drawn into this now. And there are people out there who are charging ridiculous amounts of money to teach you, to train you, to do this, to do that. Now, some of them are extremely good, and I'm not saying anything about that. You can tell Mabel doesn't approve either by that snort. But I do think you've got to be careful. It's not... We have to do a lot of the work as a solitary ourselves. We have to study ourselves, we have to research ourselves, and we have to do it properly. Don't just go for the first website or book you find that seems to support what you think. Try to learn critical thinking. Try to, what's the word? Try to question, interrogate what you read. That's the word, interrogate. Try to find ways to look at a statement and say, yes, now hang on a minute, what about? Yes, it takes time. Yes, that takes effort, mental effort, effort in time and what have you. But it comes around to a much better answer than you will get if you simply read a website or book which seems to echo what you think. It doesn't mean it's wrong because it agrees with you, but it does mean don't rush in. Just because it agrees with you doesn't make it right. Just because it disagrees with you doesn't make you wrong or it wrong. You do have to. And where do you find your sources? Well, there are a lot of places you can look, and they're not always the things you expect. You've got to look at things like history. You've got to look at things like natural history, the world around you, ecology, geology, history, yes, old texts, yes. If you're into trying to recreate something, well, you've got to look into old texts. But I'll give you an example. Tacitus was a Roman author who wrote a book called Germania about the northern tribes on the fringes of the Roman Empire. A lot of them didn't actually belong to the Roman Empire at all, and some of them went to war with it. But anyway, he wrote this book, and in it there is a very early mention of what people call runes. And what he says was that people cut slips of wood from a tree and marked them with signs, and then they used these to interpret what was going to happen, to divine what was going to happen. And a lot of people have said, this is the runes. But it isn't. If you read the Latin, it isn't. He doesn't use the word runae, which means runes. He used notai, which means signs. So they could have been anything. They mightn't have been the runes. They might have been something totally different, which is now lost. We don't know. Or, of course, it might have been runes. Who knows? The point is, you have to think about what you are really reading. And sometimes it means you've got to do an awful lot of hard work. When I wrote my book on the runes, I had to go and totally retranslate the Anglo-Saxon rune poem because I came across so many translations which were all totally different from each other. So be prepared to put in the work, you know. Don't feel it's all going to be handed to you on a plate. You are not going to get a good book that says how to be a witch. Won't work. Study. Question things. You know, talk to people without getting into big arguments, but just talk to them and see if you can find out where they're coming from. Why do they disagree with you? What is it? What piece of information have they found that you haven't? They may not listen to you, but you can listen to them and see what they say and see if it makes sense. And anyway, I've gone over 6 minutes, and I don't like going a lot more than that because I think that's quite long enough for you to be expected to listen to me. So thank you very much for listening. Bye.